powerful people in US politics with guests of honor at the UFC this weekend have been greeted as conquering champions themselves. That sentence alone would have sounded implausible, if not bizarre, even a few short years ago. But President Trump is now the disruptor-in-chief. And judging by the reaction of the crowd in New York on Saturday, a lot of people are here for him.
The whole team, everybody showed up. The whole crew, the whole clique, the whole gang. Yeah, this DJT.
It wasn't just the setting that made this an iconic symbol as the revolution underway in US politics. Trump made a beeline for Joe Rogan, a former Bernie Sanders supporter, whose interview and endorsement were pivotal in the campaign. The President-elect was flanked by Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard. All of those people, Trump himself, used to be Democrats.
The unity of people who don't agree on everything. The unity of people who don't agree on everything.
It wasn't just the setting that made this an iconic symbol as the revolution underway in US politics. Trump made a beeline for Joe Rogan, a former Bernie Sanders supporter, whose interview and endorsement were pivotal in the campaign. The President-elect was flanked by Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard. All of those people, including Trump himself, used to be Democrats. All of them will play a major role in the new Republican government.
Big ups to Tulsi for officially joining the Repub Party. Big ups, congrats to TG for big salute to Tulsi for joining the Repub Party. Big salute to Tulsi for joining the Repub Party. Big salute to Tulsi for joining the Repub Party.
It wasn't just the setting that made this an iconic symbol as the revolution underway in US politics. Trump made a beeline for Joe Rogan, a former Bernie Sanders supporter, whose interview and endorsement were pivotal in the campaign. The President-elect was flanked by Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard. All of those people, including Trump himself, used to be Democrats. All of them will play a major role in the new Republican government. With every revolution, there's a resistance. Outside of the arena, Trump's cabinet picks have unleashed panic and, well, frankly, devastation.
If you live in a rural area and there's not a hospital very close to you, but there is a community center closer to you, it
AOC is a woke fee.
Just the setting that made
fee
this
meaning
iconic symbol of the
female.
revolution in US politics. Trump made a beeline for Joe Rogan, a former Bernie Sanders supporter, whose interview and endorsement were pivotal in the campaign. The President-elect was flanked by Elon Musk, RFK Jr., and Tulsi Gabbard. All of those people, including Trump himself, used to be Democrats. All of them will play a major role in the new Republican government.
The
With every
dumb
revolution, there's a resistance. Outside of the
plantation.
arena, Trump's cabinet picks have unleashed panic and, well, frankly, devastation.
If you live in a rural area and
Because they were not permitted to think freely.
if you live in a rural area and there's not a hospital very close to you, but there is a community center closer to you, it could be decimated under Robert F. Kennedy. We're talking about the potential decimation of community health centers.
And we haven't even gotten to Tulsi Gabbard potentially
Jay
having
Reed,
access to national security
FU.
information. And Russia loves it. Loves
You
her.
mendacious piece of poop.
A rural area and there's not a
FU,
hospital very close to you, but there
AOC,
is a community center closer to you, it could be
ingenuous
decimated
Yeah.
under
bozo.
Robert F. Kennedy. We're talking about the potential decimation of community health centers.
And we
It's
haven't even
devastating.
gotten to Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information. And Russia loves it. Loves her.
And I actually think almost more than Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating. About the potential decimation of community health centers.
And we
It's
haven't even
devastating.
gone
You know,
into Tulsi
the
Gabbard potentially having
fear
access to national security
mongering
information. And Russia
is
loves it.
odious.
And I actually think
Odious.
almost more than that did
Odious.
Tulsi Gabbard's
The fear mongering is odious.
it could be decimated
Yeah.
under Robert F. Kennedy. You were talking about the potential decimation of community health centers.
And we
It's
haven't even
devastating.
gone into Tulsi Gabbard potentially having access to national security information. And Russia loves it. Loves her.
And I actually think almost more than Matt
What?
Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard's appointment is devastating.
It could be worse. You could have AOC running any of those departments. Those are some of the nation's top jobs have been running.
You know, things would be crappier if AOC got, yeah, bro.
It could be worse. You could have AOC running any of those departments.
Things would be crappier if AOC got the role.
Those are some of the nation's
Appointment is devastating.
It could be worse. You could have AOC running any of those departments. The president of some of the nation's top jobs have been roundly condemned by.
She
It could
condones
be worse. You could have
goofy-ish.
AOC running any of those
Goofy-ish.
departments.
She
The president of some of the nation's
condones
top jobs have been roundly condemned
goofy-ish.
by some as.
And Russia loves it. Loves her.
And I actually
Been roundly condemned by some as crazy. An MSNBC pundit made the outrageous claim that Pete Hegseth, Trump's pick for defense, is a white supremacist. He's not. Tulsi Gabbard, the incoming head of national intelligence, has faced a fresh barrage of familiar accusations she's a Russian agent. She's not. RFK Jr. is being hauled over the coals just about everything, including eating a Big Mac, which, to be fair, he didn't look overly thrilled about. We'll debate the pros and cons of Trump's cabinet picks in a moment. It's worth making one simple point. Trump is doing exactly what he said he'd do if he got elected. And he just won the presidency in an emphatic, clean sweep.
Yes.
If that's not a
All
mandate for him to now
7
do what he
swing
said he'd do,
states.
then what is?
The Senate, the House, yeah.
Look overly thrilled about. We'll debate the pros and
He
cons
washed
of Trump's cabinet picks in a moment. It's worth
KH.
making one simple
He
point.
washed
Trump is doing exactly what he
KH.
said he'd do if he got elected.
He
And he
whooped
just won the presidency in an
KH.
emphatic, clean sweep. If that's not a mandate for him to now do what he said he'd do, then what is? To debate this, I'm joined by Richard Pate, the former chief White House ethics lawyer under George W. Bush, Dave Smith, the host of Part of the Problem, commentator on the PBD podcast, Vincent Shana, and Julia Michaels, a health expert, host Keeping It Real. Well, welcome to all of us, stellar panel. Vinny, let me start with you, because you're probably likely to be the most jubilant member of the panel today. Your thoughts on Trump's
Dope
cabinet
words.
picks so far?
Jubilant
First of all, thank you, Piers, for having me on.
is
Again, it's
a
an honor.
great diction word. It is a great diction word.
Overly thrilled about. We'll debate the pros and cons of Trump's cabinet picks in a moment. It's worth making one simple point. Trump is doing exactly what he said he'd do if he got elected. And he just won the presidency. Richard Pate, the former chief White House ethics lawyer under George W. Bush, Dave Smith, the host of Part of the Problem, commentator on the PBD podcast, Vincent Shana, and Julia
Really?
Michaels, a health expert, host Keeping It Real. Well, welcome to all of us, stellar panel.
Vincent.
Dave Smith, the host of Part of the Problem, commentator on the PBD podcast, Vincent Shana, and Julia Michaels, the health expert, host Keeping It Real. Well, welcome to all of us, stellar panel. Vinny, let me start with you, because you're probably likely to be the most jubilant member of the panel today. Your thoughts on Trump's cabinet picks so far?
First of all, thank you, Piers, for having me on. Again, it's an honor, and what's up, everybody on the panel. I think they're actually fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all,
He thinks. You think. Big. Vinny, I have immense respect for the dudes, but you think all of the picks are fantastic? Don't know.
Again, it's an honor and what's up, everybody.
Don't know.
I think
bro.
they're actually fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all, Piers, Rubio's going to take Tony Blinken's
We
spot,
agree
right?
on a plenitude of things, but we don't agree here. But it is all good. No hate for Vinny.
Fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all, Piers, Rubio's again, it's an honor and what's up, everybody on the panel. I think they're actually fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all, Piers, Rubio's going to take Tony Blinken's spot, right? Tony Blinken's history left 13 dead service. Fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all, Piers, Rubio. Again, it's an honor.
He said, Rubio, he's super pro Israel, bro. Super partial, super biased.
Tony Blinken's history.
Super biased.
To all in a stellar panel.
He said,
Vinny, let me start with you, 'cause you're probably
two-state
likely to be the
solution.
most jubilant member of the panel today. Your thoughts on
To a
Trump's cabinet picks
reporter.
so far?
First of all, thank you, Piers, for having me on. Again, it's an honor and what's up, everybody on the panel. I think they're actually fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all, Piers, Rubio's going to take Tony Blinken's spot, right? Tony Blinken's history left 13 dead service members in Afghanistan. Allies abandoned. Weak on China. And I don't know if you guys paid attention. He wants to rush $8 billion to Ukraine before January 20th. And last night, Vladimir Putin was threatening nuclear war.
Crazy.
And by the way, you know where Joe Biden is? In the Amazon, dressed like Crocodile Dundee.
Trash.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's
I
crazy.
think all key Hexet, they're calling him a white supremacist.
The people who accused him of that before knowing the facts bugged. They tripped. They are so woke, so fragile. Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, they said the cross he has tatted on his skin is a hateful cross or something. Yeah. He said it wasn't. Yeah. Yeah. People be bugging, bro. They really do.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I think they're all key Hexet. They're calling him a white supremacist. And it's like, you know what, I realized something, Piers?
But his flaw, though, his flaw is that he is also super pro-Israel, super biased to that country. He said it would be a miracle if a two-state solution took place. He said it is not possible to achieve that goal. Yo, Pete, no hate or hatred for you, bro, but do you really believe it is not possible? Or are you saying it isn't possible because it really is not possible? Or are you saying this stuff because you hate Arabs? You detest Arabs. You revile Arabs. Which one is it? Which one is it? Answer candidly, bro. Answer candidly.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I think they're all P-Hexeth. They're calling him a white
But
supremacist.
you did serve. Thank you for your service, but the partialness you have to Israel is odious, bro. Word.
And Mama, you know where Joe Biden is? And the Amazon dressed like Crocodile Dundee. Piers. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think they're all P-Hexeth. They're calling him a white supremacist. And it's like, you know what I realized something, Piers? The left just will not understand. They've been to the Super Bowl twice. They've lost twice. They're using the same plays. And it's not working. Change your offensive BS rhetoric. Your
Change
offensive coordinators.
the strategy, because the strategy they had was not good. It wasn't a perspicacious strategy. It wasn't an effective or efficacious strategy. It wasn't perspicacious. 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 The strategy wasn't perspicacious. It wasn't perspicacious.
China, I don't know if you guys paid attention. He wants to rush $8 billion to Ukraine.
They labeled people fascists, bigots, devils,
Vladimir Putin was threatening
and
nuclear war.
Xenophobes, because they said the real truth or said what they did not rock with. Yo, bro, they say speech you hate does not equate to hate speech.
Again, it's an honor and what's up, everybody on the panel. I think they're actually fantastic, Piers. And actually, I brought notes today. So first of all, Piers, Rubio's going to take Tony Blinken's spot, right? Tony Blinken's history. Left 13 dead service members in Afghanistan. Allies abandoned. Weak on China.
Vinny and I are saying this to the Dems to change the strategy because it wasn't good. They condescended people. They thought people were dumb, stupid. Yeah, they got defeated, bro. They got vanquished because they were too hubristic.
Blinken's history.
They
Left
thought
13 dead service members in
pandering
Afghanistan.
and saying what people wanted to hear were going to lead to a win. They thought pandering and saying what people wanted to hear were going to lead to a win, but they thought wrong. They must own up. They must own up.
That's rhetoric. Your offensive coordinator's horrible. Tulsi Gabbard is a freaking veteran. Pete Heck twice. They're using the same plays, and it's not working. Change your offensive BS rhetoric. Offensive coordinators, horrible. Tulsi Gabbard is a freaking veteran. Pete Hegseth, veteran. He has a tattoo on his chest. They're like, he's a Nazi. It's a Christian cross. And anything, one of the best ones, getting Alejandro Mayorkas, who is one of the worst criminals in this country, what he does, what he's done with the border, what he's done with FEMA, Piers, I am so excited. And you know what this is, Piers? This right here, can you guys see that on the camera? That's me playing the world's smallest violin for all these crying Democrats. I can't wait for this administration to get stuff going. I'm excited.
I think Gillian might be agreeing with you there. I'm not sure the other two will. Look at Richard Painter. Richard, there's clearly a divide in the Republican Party. There are the pro-Trump element of the party who are gung-ho for this and think this is exactly the kind of disruption that they were hoping he would do if he won again, and my goodness, he's doing it. But there are also more what I would call perhaps traditional Republicans, and I would park you in that camp, who are not as happy about all this and think this goes against what he should be doing.
Palestinians
So tell me your view
who
of why you're
oppose
concerned.
the mass deletion of innocent people in Gaza are not happy. The Palestinians who oppose the mass deletion, the Palestinians who oppose the mass deletion of innocent people who live in Gaza are not happy. The Palestinians who oppose the Palestinians who oppose the mass deletion of innocent people who live in Gaza are not happy that the super pro Israel people got picked.
Next, what he should be doing as a Republican president. So tell me your view of why you're concerned about these picks.
Well, I'm a political independent now, so I can criticize both parties, and I'm happy to go into details to how I think the Democrats screwed the pooch of this election. Is something that they seem to be quite good at. But bottom line is that Donald Trump, he is the president-elect, but he's the president-elect under our Constitution and the laws of the United States, and the laws must be complied with. He has every right to nominate his cabinet for confirmation by the Senate. That is the way this is going to work. He does not have the right to try to force the Senate into recess so he can make recess appointments. The recess is going to be before he takes office. So these nominees need to go through the Senate confirmation process. He has 53, I believe, seats in the Senate with the Republicans. So he just simply needs to convince the Senate these are good nominees. Now, Matt Gaetz, for the Attorney General spot, has an ethics investigation.
He
going
got
on in the House,
accused of sexual misconduct. He denied wrongdoing. Hope he is not guilty of the offense. If he is guilty, if the accusations are true, he is the scum of the earth. If they are true, he is the scum of the earth. If they are true, if the allegations are true, he is the scum of the earth. Indubitably. Yes. But He's in but he's innocent until proven guilty. He is innocent until proven guilty. He is innocent until proven guilty.
Well, the Attorney General's spot has an ethics investigation going on in the House, and I don't know.
He
what's in that
withdrew. They
report,
said
and I'm not going to speculate
he
about what's in
withdrew
that report, but it
after
absolutely
meeting
must be turned over to
with
United States
the
Senate for confirmation. I went through this,
senators.
the Bush administration, every nominee we sent
He
up,
said
they wanted a full background report on, and it was the Republican.
he is grateful for the amazing support of so many people and the feedback he got. But he said he is withdrawing because his confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the important work of the transition of the Vance ticket. He said he is withdrawing because his confirmation. He said he is withdrawing because his confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the important work of the transition of the Vance tickets. He said he wants the best person to have the role, a person with no allegations or any stains or skeletons. So he is withdrawing. He said he thinks DJT will save this country. He has faith. He has hope. Yeah, he did the right thing by withdrawing. Yeah, it is not a it is not prudent to have a person with misconduct allegations in the cabinet. It is not the most prudent to have a person with misconduct allegations in the cabinet.
For confirmation, I went through this, the Bush administration, every nominee we sent up, they wanted a full background report on, and it was the Republican senators who were harder on us than the Democrats, because the Republicans knew that if they voted yes on somebody who had a background problem, they would have to confront the voters, whereas the Democrats may just vote no on all of Donald Trump's nominees. They don't have to worry about it. The Republicans do. So there's going to be a Senate confirmation process. Second, everyone must comply with financial conflict of interest rules. And that means selling off your assets to conflict with your official duties. We have a criminal conflict of interest statute, 18 United States Code 2080, and you may not participate in a government matter that impacts your financial holdings. So Elon Musk, he may be outside the government, and there's a way to work that under the Federal Advisory Committee Act, where he can be outside the government and advise the government. But they're going to have to do this according to the law.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to insist on. I'm not going to weigh in on the policy preferences and so forth. The voters have had their say, whether the voters voted for Donald Trump's policies or whether the voters were fed up with the way the Democrats handled things, with Joe Biden hanging on to this thing all the way through July and then swapping out candidates. I think Kamala Harris was a perfectly good candidate, but they only gave her about 100 days to run when the Democrats should have realized that Joe Biden was a one-term president years ago. So they flubbed it, and Donald Trump's our president. I just want to be the president in accordance with the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
Okay, Dave Smith,
Fair.
I want to play a little mashup of the reaction to Matt Gaetz, in particular, being nominated to be Attorney General. Let's take a look.
You're getting Matt Gaetz, and they hate Matt Gaetz.
Yes.
They hate Matt Gaetz more than they hate anybody. These establishment Republicans.
He's never going to get confirmed. I'm looking at him as a member of Congress and the job that he has done here, and it has been abhorrent.
When I heard that Matt Gaetz was picked to be Attorney General, I threw up in my mouth.
It must be the worst nomination for a cabinet position in American history.
Why not? I mean, if Matt Gaetz is going to be Attorney General, bring in Gary Busey to
The
run
Wokes
the
hate
CIA.
Gaetz because he's anti-corruption. Anti-corruption. He wants the crookedness to cease to exist in the DOJ. The Wokes hate him for standing against
Why
the
not? I mean, if Matt Gaetz is going to be Attorney General,
crookedness,
bring in
the
Gary Busey to run the CIA.
craziness that is going on in the DOJ.
When I heard that Matt Gaetz was picked to be
But
Attorney General, I threw up in my
Gaetz
mouth.
It must be the worst nomination for a cabinet position in American
was
history.
not the best pick because of these allegations, bro. Hope he's not guilty, bro. We will see.
When I heard that Matt Gaetz was picked to be Attorney General, I threw up in my mouth.
It must be the worst nomination for a
You're getting Matt Gaetz, and they hate.
Why not? I mean, if Matt Gaetz is going to be Attorney General, bring.
Just to trigger a meltdown. Clearly, it's just kind of like a god tier kind of trolling, just to trigger a meltdown.
Dave, your response to the picks generally, but particularly Matt Gaetz.
Well, I mean, I think that essentially the picks who the corporate media are freaking out about are the best picks that Trump's made. Personally, I'm not too happy with a lot of his foreign policy picks. But I think having Tulsi as DNI and Matt Gaetz as the Attorney General and Bobby Kennedy at the Health Department, these are the best picks that Trump's made. And of course, in the upside down world that we live in, the corporate media, the professional lying class, the people who told you that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack and Kamala Harris was joy and a phenomenon. Tony Hinchcliffe was a speaker at an event making a comment, and there was a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden. And
where
the list
Jews,
goes on and on and on.
Arabs, blacks, and Latinos attended. Yeah, it's crazy. They labeled that MSG rally a N rally, bro. Crazy.
Joy and a phenomenon.
If it was a N rally, none of the groups I mentioned would have been able to attend. Dummies.
comment, and there was a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, and the list goes on and on and on and on. That's just a joy and a phenomenon. And Tony Hinchcliffe was a speaker at an event making a comment, and there was a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, and the list goes on and on and on and on. That's just in the last few months. Yeah, of course, they're all freaking out about this.
Yep.
I think what's really going on here is that Donald Trump has quite craftily put a person in charge of national intelligence and a person in charge of the Justice Department, assuming they get confirmed, who were outside of the Russiagate folks. And this is what's making everybody freak out right now. You know, so many things happen in modern America. There's so many big stories that we kind of forget that a few years ago, there was this little tiny story where the intelligence agencies framed the sitting president for treason for years, and had their corporate media outlets say that the sitting president, the biggest scandal, if true, in the history of the United States of America, that sitting president was involved with a hostile foreign power in a conspiracy to overthrow our elections. They knew this was not true. They lied, and now their bosses are not only people who were outside of this conspiracy, but in Tulsi Gabbard's example, someone who is also smeared with that same accusation. As you saw, Joy Reid, as you played, just did the same thing again. And I'll say, I'm sorry, I don't want to go too long here. I'll just say this. It is the most vicious, dishonest, despicable smear. To use this innuendo where you say, you know, Putin, Russia's thrilled that Tulsi Gabbard's in there, and it kind of leaves the viewer with this, like, implicit accusation that this woman who served her country is a traitor to her country.
It's crazy.
That means nothing. Look,
It's defamatory, bro. It's obloquious, aspersive, scurrilous. These claims. Yo, no proof, no, like the wokes, they never give you proof. They just label you things, bro. It is unlaudable, bro. It really is unlaudable. It really is unlaudable.
But use this innuendo where you say, you know, Putin, Russia's thrilled that Tulsi Gabbard's in there, and it kind of leaves the viewer with this, like, implicit accusation that this woman who served her country is a traitor to her country. When that means nothing. Look, in 2002, if you opposed the war in Iraq, Saddam
She served honorably.
To her country. When
it's
that
crazy
means
to say
nothing.
she's
Look, in 2000,
treasonous or traitorous is crazy, bro.
Welcome to all in a stellar panel.
For confirmation by the Senate. Candidates, I think Kamala Harris was a perfectly good candidate.
And there was a Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden.
Wherever you're going, whoever you're going with, travel with Ramos. Shop now at Ramos.com.
Power Crunch Protein Crisps. The high protein potato crisp. In a variety of bold flavors to fuel you.
Years, and had their corporate media outlets say that the sitting president, the biggest scandal, if true, and it kind of leaves the viewer with this, like, implicit accusation that this woman who served her country is a traitor to her country, when that means nothing. Look, in 2002, if you opposed the war in Iraq, Saddam Hussein probably would have been happy to see you in there. But that doesn't mean you're a traitor to your country. That just meant that in 2002, you were right, while the entire establishment was wrong.
Listen, I totally agree with you. We're going to come to the foreign policy part a little later. I know you've got differing views there about some of the picks, but interesting to see what you said about those three. Let me go to Gillian, because specifically, you're a fitness guru, obviously, and radiating good health today, may I say so. This whole issue of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., it's interesting. Before I interviewed him, and I've interviewed him maybe 5-6 times now, I had a kind of view of him that I'd seen from the media, that he was a complete crackpot, that he was anti-all vaccines and so on and so on. And that certainly wasn't the impression. That he was a complete crackpot, that he was
crazy lunatic.
And that certainly wasn't the impression I got. That he was a complete crackpot, that he was anti-all vaccines and so on and so on. And that certainly wasn't the impression I got. And actually, the more I interviewed RFK Jr., the more impressive I felt he was. He's obviously fiercely intelligent.
Yes.
He's extremely well-read. And it seems to me he comes at this essentially from a good place. He wants more transparency.
Yep.
And he wants to make America a healthier place.
Yes.
Now, am I living in clown cuckoo land?
Nope.
Or is that pretty much the reality?
Based.
He's obviously fiercely intelligent. He's extremely well-read. And it seems to me he comes at this essentially from a good place. He wants more transparency. And he wants to make America a healthier place. Now, am I living in
GMO
cuckoo land, Gillian? Or is that pretty much
stuff.
the reality?
That's exactly the reality. Is
that pretty much the reality?
He does not rock with Monsanto. He does not rock with Monsanto, bro. He does not rock with Monsanto. He does not rock with Monsanto. He does not rock with Monsanto. He does not rock with Monsanto.
That's exactly the reality. Is he eccentric? Yes, he's a little bit eccentric. But he's a good person. If you look at his history, this is a guy who sued Monsanto, DuPont, General Electric. He's an environmental attorney. His goal was to clean up chemicals out of our environment to help people not get cancer. Now, if you look at what he's promised to do, it's three things. So the first one, obviously, is he wants to end corruption. If you look at the revolving door between our government agencies and industry,
Big
it's
Pharma.
terrifying. I could give you a
Big
million different
Pharma.
examples of how scary this is.
The
But let's go to one that everybody
rapacious
knows, which is
BP.
OxyContin. It's terrifying. I could
They
give you
only
a million
care-
different examples of how scary this is. But let's go to one that everybody knows, which is
They
OxyContin,
only
the guy at the FDA.
care about profit, not the health of the people. They just want money. They
chemicals
profit
out of our environment
from
to help people not get
people's
cancer. Now, if you look at what
eternal
he's promised
sickness,
to do, it's three things.
eternal
So
this
the first
disease.
one, obviously, is he wants to end corruption. Now, if you look at what he's promised to do, it's three things.
From
So the first one, obviously, is
allopathic stuff,
if you look at the
from
revolving door
pills,
between our government agencies and industry, it's terrifying. I could give you a million examples
synthetic-ish.
of how he's an environmental attorney.
They don't
His
push
goal was to clean up
nutrition
chemicals out of our
or
environment to help people
movement
not
of
get cancer.
the body.
Now, if
They
you look
push
at
these pills that have deleterious effects. They push these pills that have deleterious effects. Yeah. You take a pill for this ailment. You take one pill for this ailment, then you get side effects. Then you have to get another pill for the side effects you got from the first pill. Yeah, it's crazy. you keep
well run.
going
And it seems
back
he comes
to
at
the
this
dock.
essentially from a good place.
You know,
He wants
they
more
make
transparency,
more
and he
money.
wants to make
They
America a
make
healthier
more
place. Now, am I
money.
living in cloud cuckoo land, Julian, or is that pretty much the
A
reality?
healthy society is a threat. A healthy society is a threat to these businesses, bro. A healthy society, truly healthy society, a truly healthy society, a truly healthy society, a truly healthy society is a threat because they would not be getting profit.
The more I interviewed RFK Jr., the more impressive I felt he was. He's obviously fiercely intelligent. He's extremely well read. And it seems
They
to me
would
essentially
lose
he wants more
money if
and he wants to make America a healthier place.
people
Now, am I living in cloud cuckoo
were
or is that
in
pretty much
good
the reality?
health.
That's exactly the reality. Is he eccentric? Yes, he's a little bit eccentric, but he's a good person. If you look at his history, this is a guy who sued Monsanto, DuPont, General Electric. He's an environmental attorney. His goal was to clean up chemicals out of our environment to help people not get cancer. Now, if you look at what he's promised to do, it's three things. So the first one, obviously, is he wants to end corruption. If you look at the revolving door between our government agencies and industry, it's terrifying. I could give you a million different examples of how scary this is, but let's go to one that everybody knows, which is OxyContin. The guy at the FDA who approved OxyContin went and took a cushy job for Purdue. There are a million examples like this. He wants gold standard research when it comes to vaccines and drugs, but particularly vaccines, because the research on those is not up to par. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. He wants human randomized control trials. So if you look at hepatitis B, which is one of the most controversial vaccines for kids, because it's specifically for people who have risky sex and use needles, and you can test the mother to find out if she's negative before you vaccinate the newborn. So why does a child even need this? Well, ironically, after the drug companies were given blanket immunity in 1986, they added 48 more doses of vaccinations to the schedule. But let's look at Hep B. What are the clinical trials that it goes through? I think your mind is going to be blown, and I encourage everybody to look this up. It's on the FDA's website. They tested 147 kids in 3 trials, and they monitor them for 5 days. Does that seem up to par? I don't think so. And then the second thing, and by the way, I could give you a million other examples just like this one. And the third thing is he was tasked with dramatically improving the health of Americans. And in case everybody's missed it, we are unhealthier than ever. 74% of adults are overweight or obese. We've all heard the diatribe. I'll run through it one more time. One more than ever.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, the food is trash, bro. Yo. They say, yo. The things that are permitted to be in food are the bad things that are permitted to be in food in the states are banned in other countries. The bad things that are permitted to be in food in these states are banned in other countries because they lead to heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and other ailments. The bad things that are permitted to be in food in these states are banned in other countries because they lead to many diseases, including cancer, heart disease, and obesity. Yeah. This country is one of the most obese. Obesity is one of the top diseases, bro. It's crazy, bro. Yeah. The stuff they put in these foods are trash, bro. Yeah. 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 It's crazy. It's craziness, bro. Craziness. You got obese kids. Yeah, kids should not be obese, bro. But certain parents permit their kids to gorge fattening cakes and other fattening things. If this stuff leads to obesity, bro, morbid obesity, people die. Yeah. Sad, yeah. The foods, the things that are banned in other places should be banned here too. People would be less sick. There would be less sickness. More people would be healthier, fitter, and happier. Yeah. If people did not, if this stuff wasn't available, bro, people would be much healthier. People would less trips to the hospital would take place. Just less sadness, bro. Less sadness would take place. The sad diets, the standard American diet is killing people, bro, prematurely. People are leaving at 30, 40, 50 because of the crap that is in foods, artificial flavors, high fructose corn syrup. Yeah, just crazy stuff, bro. Yeah, like it is trash. It really is. Yeah. Yeah, the BVO and sodas, that leads to kidney issues, liver issues, and other physiological issues. It leads to kidney issues. It can lead to kidney issues, liver issues, and other physiological issues. Physiological issues. Brominated vegetable oil.